Okay, welcome everybody. I am just finishing up a couple announcements about this exact stream to get the word out, as they say, to bring everybody in who would like to check out how to write a jazz big band shout chorus. That's right, we're going to be talking about the issues right here. We're talking the issues: voicings, chords, orchestration, all of it. Still getting these announcements up. Can't forget about the gram. Okay. Speaking of Instagram, I've really realized how incredible Instagram is recently. Go and get this display capture now. Excuse me again. Sorry, I'm kind of being like a grandma right now. Voicings, chords, orchestration. Link in the bio to check out the stream on my YouTube channel. Gotta do a few hashtags. Hang on. Jazz, hashtag PN composition, hashtag arranging, hashtag jazz arranging, hashtag jazz composition, hashtag finale music. Let's see what that pulls up. Okay. Music notation software? Okay. Only 500 plus posts. That's kind of weird, but let's see what else. Jazz ensemble. Writing music, and we'll call it a day. and new music. How about that? Okay, that's getting shared. Okay. Oh, another thing I'll be talking about is like finale tips. Tips and tricks with finale, y'all, where you might not have known these. These are some of the backdoor, back alley, you know, like, this is the stuff. Hang on, I'm just like doubting myself that it's all really working. Okay. All right. Let's throw caution to the wind and write some music, guys. Let's go. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about this piece. It does not have a title yet. It is one of several pieces I'm writing for a big band in Columbus, Ohio. And this one is in 3. It's swing. And right now, I've already gotten past the writing out the melody part of the chart. And for now, I skipped over the solo section where I'm going to have backgrounds and kind of building and stuff. And I'm just going to the shout chorus right now. I don't always do this, but for this particular one, I've figured out a lot of the roadmap that I want to do. I kind of wrote an outline, if you will. I'll show you briefly how the rest of the chart is looking. So I start off the chart. I'm doing like a unison thing after we haven't really heard that much of this in the other parts of the 5 like movements I'm basically writing. So we're starting this one off with a bang with this unison stuff. Then there's going to be, our guitarist is going to play a bit of a cadenza there, and then he's going to start in the time. And I'm going to play just the finale playback of how that sounds for you, just to give you a rough idea of at least the tempo. And rhythm section here. I do want to make it so we can see the whole, maximize what we can see here. There we go. So continuing. It's kind of like an interlude, but it's really part of the film. And there's a second ending here, you can see it at the top. That's right, I'm gonna make up notes and play a solo here. I won't make you listen to all of that glorious solo that I was starting out on, but that's what's gonna happen here. Also, that loud part, sometimes I'll let you guys in on the doubting myself composer, arranger. And here I'm scared that people are going to think it sounds too North Texas. But, oh well, like I said before, we're throwing caution to the wind, okay? So, getting out of the solo section, I have a modulation going from C to A flat, really C minor to A flat major. So I'll let you hear just how these chords are lining up and leading into that. And then we'll get started on the shout chorus. And you have the context. Okay, so that melody that you heard before, played by the guitar, I'm actually just using it as the shout chorus. So it's kind of like a head out that's just the shout chorus. Anyway, so I've just gotten barely started voicing that out for you guys. I'll fill you in on what I did so far. So the lead melody of this shout chorus sounds like this. That's the first phrase. So I went ahead and voiced that out, and it's going to be full horn section. So the trumpets I have doing this. So a quartal voicing, and the overall chord of this first bar is A flat 6-9. So lots of ripe opportunities for fourths in there, and we are taking full advantage, my friends. So the trumpets are up here like this. I'm hoping that that'll sound nice and crystal clear for them. The trombones I have below that, filling out the rest of the harmony of that chord with fourths. And then the bass is going to be down there on that nice root A flat. So here's a finale tip, okay? I need a little jingle whenever I go into a finale tip. So finale tip. Okay, so we are going to learn how to explode music. Yeah, that's right. We are going to destroy music forever by using something called explode music. So, using my handy dandy little big MIDI keyboard here, I've put in the notes up there. You can't see what I'm pointing to. What am I doing? Up, what would it be? Either up there or up there. But anyway, so now I did put them in just in one staff, but now I'm going to explode them so that they just drop into all the other staffs, filling out the whole section. So you don't have to go through and type in each note individually for each section. It doesn't always work great, but when it does save some time. So I'm going to go ahead and do this with the rest of the saxes here. Important when you're doing this in finale, you have to choose existing staffs starting with staff and choose what the top staff is that things are going to drop down out of. If you don't do that and it's on this one, then it'll just like plop 4 extra staffs or however many in the bottom of your score, and it's really annoying. So don't let that happen. Boom. Okay? Look at that. All right? Now, let's get this going with the trumpets as well. Still 4 staves, and starting with trumpet in B flat 1. Now you guys are a pro by now, so you can tell me how to do this one. All right, excellent. So our first chord is done. So that much is done, and it sounds like with a bass note underneath, so it doesn't sound like, I don't know, a robot. So the next notes in the next bar, it's going to be a lot of eighth notes, and it's like, okay? So, just so you guys can see what I'm up to, I'm going to write in that melody here. And then I'll start voicing it after that. So that's what we're working with. Now we're going to harmonize that. The chord in that bar is a 4 chord in the key, so it's a D flat, basically major 13, sharp 11. So we're all right. So I'll kind of take you through my thought process on this. So we're going to have that D flat in the bass, and I'm going to watch out for if there are any notes in this melody that are like treble notes where, you know, if I had a root up high or something, then that means I can't have a seventh below it. It's basically watching out for your half steps and making sure you don't have minor ninths in your voicing, unless you want to, but be aware of them. So this is actually pretty nice. Like all of the notes in the melody are nice extensions. I'm just now getting used to this like sort of educational vibe. So anyway, so now we got to decide what are we going to do basically. Are we trying to like tonicize, so we're going to have different moving chords that lead to each other that are actually different than like the whole bass chord of the bar, if you will? Or are we just going to like plane or just move around within the tones of the chord? It's a good question, honestly. Let me kind of mess with some stuff here. For some reason, I kind of hear planing in this bar. I don't know, like... Yeah, so maybe the trumpets always sound good in a triad. It's a kind of like good thing you can fall back on for trumpet voicings is having them in a triad. And that puts the fourth trumpet often doubling your first trumpet down an octave, which is like another thing that lends it some strength. I'm going to do that. Now, that means I got to fill out these like, and by the way, the notes of that triad are the sharp 11, the 9th, the 13th, and the 9th again. So I still need to fill out the, what's it called? The guide tones or the shell notes of the chord, which are the 3rd and 7th. So that's kind of where I start for the trombones, just making sure that those are covered somewhere and kind of going from there. So they generally sound better lower, but like you do find times when that's not what you do, but they sound better lower, especially the 3rd, I think. So I'm kind of coming up with that so far. It's actually really similar to the first chord, because sometimes when you go from a 1 major chord to a 4 major chord, you hardly change anything. So so the trombones, I'm thinking about just giving them, so they'll have the 9th again in the first, the 13th in the second, and then the 3rd and 7th respectively in the 3rd and 4th trombones. Okay. Now that you guys have gotten to see this, I'm going to delete this just so I can do the inputting all in one swell foop. So here's the first note for the trumpets. Here's the first note for the trombones. I'll fill in the saxophones later. They always just get something that the brass already had, usually. In my methodology. So now we have to take the melody down from the G concert to that F. So so if we like directly plane everything, this is where things get dicey. Because depending on how you do it, like if I end up with any fifths or roots up high, then I gotta watch out. I won't be able to have like any sevenths and sharp 11ths below unless I just don't care that it sounds crunchy. So let's see if this is really a viable option or not. So I'm seeing that that could be a triad for the trumpets. That does have a fifth in it, which bars me from using the sharp 11, which is kind of sad. I could also maybe do this. So it's not actually a triad, but it is a kind of a jumbled up quartal voicing. I'm kind of liking the vibe of that, actually. That does mean we have the third twice in the top, which is kind of weird. Could be that, but I don't think that's going to sound as good. So this is where sometimes, if I do want to do this planing, I'm just going to have to deal with the fact that the third is so present up high. So then let's say we take the trombones, the cats in the trombones, and have them do something like this. Oh god, I kind of want them to stay on the same thing. Well, that's troubling, but I won't do that. Oops, not that. Sorry, the trumpet sound is still coming through. That's where they were, and we'll take them to try. Okay. I wonder if any of you guys have like commented and stuff. Okay. Oops, wrong thing. That's basically the lead sheet for this chart. See, this is what happens when I don't know what to do with writing. I start distracting myself and eating pitted dates. Okay. So I need a 7th and trombone somewhere. I kind of need a 13th and a 9th too. That's the one, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. So I have 7, sharp 11, 9th, 13th. Let's get that put in. Now, since it's going lower and lower, the melody, we might have to do some tricks because it's going to start to sound muddy much lower than this. Okay, so now we're here. Can do another triad like that. That could work. Okay, let's try it. Okay. Oh, oops. I kind of messed up this rhythm. So, we're that far, we need to do. Now, this one might sound good to tonicize, actually. What are the chords I do here? Okay, so a 6 minor chord. So we could tonicize that 6 minor chord and either have like a G flat dominant chord or a C dominant chord going there. But is that the sound? Is it the sound? Still no viewers. Interesting. I'm liking the planing. I like it how it sounds like kind of dancey or something. So let's try to keep doing that. Let's see if we can do it without getting way too dangerously low, because now our first trumpet is all the way down here. C above middle C. Okay, so maybe our trumpets they should probably get a little tighter, but we'll see. Let's say they do that. So 7th, sharp 11, sharp 7th, sharp 11, 9th, 7th. And then our trombones, we're definitely going to need a nice third. Could use a 13th. This is where it gets weird, guys. I think we cluster our trumpets. I think that's the move here. That frees up our trombones to do. So first trombone could double 4th trumpet. Or we could have another sharp 11 in there. Oh, that's the one. That's fucking gorgeous. That's gotta be it. Okay. So we ended up clustering both our sections. Let's see how that sounds. Now, of course, this is just finale playback, which is completely unacceptable to be using as a measuring stick for how music actually sounds. But that being said, it's still kind of fun to use it. So, there. Okay. Here goes nothing. Wait. I need to put in a bass note at least. It works, actually. I think it's cool. We do have some people not moving, which I don't like that as much. Let me just think about that for a second. It's fine. So now we have this 6 minor chord in the next part. Something something to that effect. Maybe in this part I'm hearing like some kind of cute stuff. Like where the trombones like go upward while the trumpets are going down or something. We'll start off our trumpets there. No, there for sure. Does a minor 13 sound good here? That is the question, my friends. I think it sounds really good, actually. No. Okay, we're doing it. Now I am hearing a tonicization here. We have 3 notes. The note in the middle I want to make be basically a 5 of this 6th chord, or a flat 2 dominant of this 6th chord. But how? How shall we do this? Try maybe a flat 2 dominant of it, the tritone sub, shall I say, because that way we can have this top note be a sharp 11 rather than just a root, which wouldn't be that bad, but we'll see. Let's see what happens here. Could have the trumpets do this. I think that sounds pretty banging, actually. Oh dear, what did I do? Gonna have a little nice Berlin Philharmonic voicing there in the trombones. Okay, so then the next note is us landing back on that 6th dominant chord. I mean 6th minor chord. So it's crunchy, but it could be the key. That might be the best we can do, because to try that. Third, root, 7th, 13th, 5th, 4th, 11th, 3rd again, 7th. We'll have to see if it sounds restful enough. Oops, I think I did the thing where it only tied one of the notes. Now that won't do. Okay. Sorry, I totally could have done this the whole time. My fault. Okay. Let's explode these. Oh no, trombone 2. No! Sometimes this happens, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. That is sad. Sad. Oh well. Okay. Now this is going to continue holding through for a beat and a half of the next measure. But here's the kicker. The next measure ain't the same chord. Alright? It becomes a sus 5 chord. So, we're going to have a little action of the lead staying the same, whilst many of the other notes move. That's going to sound a little something like this. So where were we? We're already basically there. So we have the sus4, we have the 9th, we have the root, we have the 7th, we have the 13th, we have the 9th, 5th. We have the sus4th again. We have the 9th again. So just going from, yeah, that's all it needs. So almost everyone is going to stay on the same note except for, what are they? Who are they? 4th trumpet and 4th trombone. worry about the ties later, meaning in 14 seconds. You're going to make sure I hold to that, aren't you? Hold me to it. And now, 14 seconds later, hopefully. Okay. Now you need a I was trying to do another jingle. You need a courtesy accidental. Okay. Look at this second trombone still. Oh my gosh. Okay. Coolio. Okay. That'll wake. Let's see what it sounds like. Sounds quite crunch. Very crunch. Let's get some bass notes in there, see what it really sounds like. Something about this bar, especially the first trombone, is like kind of distracting, not gonna lie. Let's hear it again. I think it's okay. It's thoroughly modern. Okay. And then we'll just... So a lot of this can be just reused. This is the nice thing about writing music, and it's the nice thing about Finale, reusing stuff. Copy-paste, okay? So check this out. For sure the first bar is going to work, because the first bar is the same chord. The same chord, okay? Now, what does change is the second bar. It is no longer a 4 chord, it is a 6 minor chord once again. But here's the thing once again. Those are so similar that, in all likelihood, I won't have to change the voicing hardly at all. So, let's see, what did I do here again? The question, will that work over a 6 minor chord? Yes, 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 yes. I think it's, yeah. I think that'll wake. See about the next one. Well, really, like, the only thing that could be a problem would be if we, like, have... thirteenths or something. Let's see if the stream's still doing okay. See, like I said, whenever I'm kind of confused about something, I just get distracted, buddy. All right. You can still hear me. You can see me. Hey, we got a viewer. Okay. Let's just try and do it by ear, actually. I'm being a little bit lazy right now, I'm not going to lie. But sometimes lazy is all you need. I've never said that. Take that back. Oh. Because of the stupid transition. Because of the key. This has messed me up in the past. Finale. So down, a C flat to an E flat. So I think that's just a major sixth, yeah? Let's find out. Maybe we can even not even go there. Okay. And finale, I gotcha. Okay. So we need to do like diminished sixth or something? Or minor sixth, but that doesn't make any sense to me. We're just going to do it this way. So augmented unison, I think? Okay. Okay, that first trombone part is also a little bit... messed up the melody a little bit, but oh well. Let's see what that sounds like. That sounds fine. I dare say it even sounds better on the 6th minor chord than it does on the 4 chord. Still, that third bar. Actually, this held note is getting to me even more. What's going on with that? Let's see if we have everything correct. So it's still the 6th minor chord. It's just crunching. It's fine. It all checks out, if you will. Sometimes with these things, it's just a matter of getting my ear used to them. Because keeping my ear in the same position of ignorance forever and staying in that comfort zone is something I'm not willing to do, okay? Long notes. Thank goodness. And then after this, I'm going to do a sax solo of the next phrase. So we're kind of getting out of the shout chorus portion, actually. Okay, here we're doing 7, what would normally be a minor 2-5 from 7 to 3, or tonicizing 6 minor, if you will. But I like the sound of doing the 7 or the 2 of the 6th chord as a regular minor 7 chord in this case. It sounds really like, I don't know. So we're going to do that. So. That's basically what we're working with. So rather than we're doing, okay. So for these trumpets, I'm already kind of seeing perhaps it come out like this. Well, do we want a 13 in it? I don't like the 13 in this case. I don't know why, but I don't. Maybe we'll have the trumpets do or they could do. Let's see how these trombones are looking, and then we'll decide. So, I'm already feeling them doing some of that action. This is the best we're going to get. It's kind of a weird voicing, but... Just making sure Jacob wasn't home and texting me to quiet down. Okay. So that's... So now the C chord. So we already know we're going to do some of that. I'm really liking how the flat nine sounds in this case. Liking how that sounds. Oh wait, that doesn't have enough notes. Oh yeah. What is this? Someone wants to send me a message on Instagram. What is the meaning of this? Oh, hanging out with you on your live YouTube. Pretty cool. Hope you're doing well. Except, thanks, Doc. Glad to have you. That kind of reminds me to actually check the YouTube comments. Okay. All right. So this case, we're going to have the root be in the fourth trombone. Let's see. So I might have him drop an octave. That sounds pretty cool. Let's get this mixploded. Let's explode music. Let's destroy music forever. See? I love this finale trick. Okay, so people who can tie should tie. I think I do want to have him go down an octave. I bet it'll sound really cool. And he's not doing like too difficult of stuff to make that happen. Could be she. He or she. Let's put it here. That sounds pretty cool. I think that'll work. So only the lead is actually sustaining. So that'll probably sound cool. Okay. Yeah, so then after this spot is where I've decided to have the next part of the melody be voiced out for saxophones. And I'm thinking they'll do that, but then the brass will do like some punctuations and loud stuff in between. So first phrase went like this with the brass voiced out, which we just did. Now saxes. This is where you find out how good of a piano player I am. Okay, so as they're doing that, it'll be like. So I see two opportunities for like brass bops. So bop, like right there on an upbeat or something. Oh no, on beat 3. Something like that. Okay. Okay. All right. Question is, am I going to do that right now? I think I want to take a break, actually. Oh, well, I know just how to wrap up. So I'm going to distribute this how it should be to the saxophones. That will be like this. So a good kind of default is to just try having it be that the lowest 4 saxophones get the trombones. But that's not always what you want to do, because that means a lot of times that your like altos and tenors are not really going to be in their loud range. They're going to be in like the middle of the horn, which is kind of weird for a shout chorus. So we might have them double trumpets instead. Let's get rid of display and concert pitch so we can see. Yeah, that's not in a nice range for this alto at all. Both the tenors too can just be a lot better. So I think we're not going to do that method this time. So there's a few things we can do. I kind of like the Barry doubling the fourth trombone, though. So you can have him double the trumpets. Here's the thing, though. That the top... Did I already have those... that first bar of notes in the saxophones? Okay, I did. So I kind of like having the Barry be with the fourth trombone. I think that's just a strong thing to do. Now here's the kicker. You might be thinking, okay, then perfect. Let's have the saxophones double the trumpets. Now watch this when we put it into their pitch. Okay? This is like not that fun for that alto player. That's like a little extreme. So then you might be thinking, what else can we do? I kind of see two main ways to go with this. We could either try dropping the octave of all four of these voices, throwing caution to the wind, not thinking about how that's going to affect the voicings and if we're going to have any extra half steps and stuff that we wouldn't have normally had, or even minor ninths or something. I don't know, but anyway, so that's like one option. I don't think that's what we're going to do, though, because that's going to be, yeah, then we're like really low again for all four of them, which is not fun. So I think what we're going to end up doing is something like having them double like the second trumpet on down or something. Maybe we could do like basically a drop 2 or a drop 1, if you will. So we could try having the second tenor double the lead, because you do want to like have the lead be somewhere in the saxophones, I would think. I think that's going to be strongest anyway. So the question is like, okay, it's already kind of weird because then it's just on the same note with this fella sometimes. Okay, well, since this line is like doubling the lead a lot of times already, I'm thinking let's not do that, and let's have this fella or gal play this. Let's see. Okay, I think that'll work. Also Barry low A, that's a concern. I think that'll work. Could it be better? Maybe. Is that a question for right now? Maybe not. I kind of want to take a break, because I don't like to write music for a million hours in a row. I prefer to write a little bit and then you take a break and you do something else and then you come back to it. Helps keep things fresh and fun and exciting. So, thanks for checking this out today, and I look forward to doing this again sometime. And with that, good night.